gotta be against the law to look this damn good. Watch out now. Cause baby, I feel real good and I wish I would. Watch out now. It's gotta be against the law to look.
Wake up! Yep, it's that time again. Vape AM brought to you by vapers1.com. I'm your host, Anthony Ramella. Hey guys, what a wild and crazy Wednesday it is. Oh man, there's just been so much kind of stuff going on. Not necessarily vape stuff either, just some funny things that I've found in the news and stuff going on. So we're just gonna have kind of a fun day today. Obviously we're gonna talk about some news here later on, but I gotta get some other stuff out here first. So, all right, so let's do what we normally do in the mornings. Let's talk about some history and birthdays. Oh, and if you guys probably have noticed this on here, this is another one of these Puma mods that we carry at vapers1.com. These things are only like 45 bucks. Nice little 200 watt banger. This is starting to become my everyday out of the house kind of mod. My tank does not match this at all, but it's just one of these things that it vapes and it's ugly as sin, but I use it. The design on the Puma is actually pretty cool, but it's just, that's a horrible combination as far as colors go, but today I just don't care because there's just some crazy stuff going on. But let's get into some of this. All right, so let's do some history first today. I found this interesting just because all the people out there that are moral and correct and want to do things a certain way and have our society made a certain way, these are all the same people who are wearing those yellow Live Strong bracelets a few years ago, if you guys remember all about that. Well, in 2005, the 92nd Tour de France winner was Lance Armstrong. And he retires after winning his record 7th consecutive victory, but then was disqualified in 2012 for shooting up. All right. So these are not the kind of people that you want to put out there as far as, icons and people that you want to follow and respect. And I can't tell you how many people that I saw that were morally correct people wearing those yellow bracelets, only to find out that the guy that was their savior was actually just shooting up, before the races so he could win. So when you think about that kind of thing, look into situations like that. And I kind of bring this back around to vaping only because just because people in authority or that are, the moral correct think this is not the right thing to do doesn't really mean that that's the right thing to do. So just a little history for you guys today. All right, we're going to go on to some birthdays today. I titled this episode, It's Wonderful Woman Day, and that's because there's a lot of woman birthdays. Kristen Chenoweth turns 50 years old today, looks still fantastic. And those of you who don't know who she is, I would encourage you to jump on to one of the links that are down in the description and take a look at that. But the Tori Wilson, which is also a wrestler, her birthday is today. She's 43 years old, still looking really good. But last and certainly not least, Linda Carter's birthday is today. And those of you that are my age or in that realm will know that she was like the first Wonder Woman as far as on TV and stuff like that. She's who I think of when I think of Wonder Woman. With that new Wonder Woman movie that came out, Gal Gadot's playing that part. I didn't think she was the right choice for the role just because of her size and shape. I thought Gina Carano was a much better choice for that role, but that's my personal opinion. Those of you that don't know who Gina Carano is, she's a UFC champion. So yeah, I want my Wonder Woman to be kind of strong. So it's kind of a wonderful woman day. So along those lines, before we get into some news, I'm sorry I'm laughing because I just find this really, really funny. Okay, guys, I am not a woman hater by any stretch of the imagination, but there's some crazy stuff going on when it comes to movies. Now, those of you that know me, I'm a big movie guy. I love movies. I'm big into Marvel and all that superhero stuff because I really find it fun because I read these comics when I was a kid when these things weren't really available. So right now, it looks like that Natalie Portman is going to play Thor in the new movie. I can hardly get that out with a straight face. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, there are other things. Why is this kind of what's going on? Another thing that's going on also is that there's going to be a woman now playing the James Bond role. So I find that very interesting. It's like, what in the world is going on here? Are there not any roles that are available, or we can't write any new stories that show powerful women? We've got to change up everything. I mean, James Bond is designed around James Bond. All right, is that what her name's going to be? I really doubt that's going to be the case. But last and certainly not least, it looks like in the new Wonder Woman movie, it's going to be Antonio Banderas is going to play Wonder Woman. So that ought to be pretty interesting, So I like the role reversal there. We'll see how that all pans out. Anyway, guys, let's get on to some Wake and Vape news this morning. I got a couple of things I want to talk to you about. First off, we're going to talk about Ventura, California. Now, Ventura, California, as you know, California is my absolute most favorite place in the whole world. and they are looking at a flavor ban. Believe it or not, in California, they're looking at a flavor ban. Can you believe it? So what's going to happen here is a few different things. So they're looking at a flavor ban in that area. They're also looking at no new stores that can sell any type of tobacco products within like 1,000 feet of a school. And there were some interesting points to this article, and I'm going to go down here in the bottom because there's some things I wanted to read to you guys. So this is one of the things. A college student said her attending a four-year university was possible thanks to a small tobacco shop that her family operates in Ventura. So obviously that's a way that their family makes money. That's a business that they have, and it's allowed them to send their daughter off to school, which I think is a fantastic thing. One of the parts of this article is also about online bans as well. So they're going to ban basically any flavored tobacco products, any flavored e-cigarette products, which you know is just going to kill those businesses. There's no way they'll be able to survive that. And the problem with all of this is that vaping is a much healthier alternative than smoking. The other thing that they're doing with this is they're not allowing anyone to transfer their tobacco license to a new company. Now, a lot of these smaller shops are owned by families, and a lot of times what they do is if a new family member comes to the States, they transfer that title to that store to them to, play the game, basically, to maybe not have to pay so much in taxes or stuff like this. I almost think that this is an attack on that as well, and I really don't think that that's the right way that we should be going with this. You know, if that is legal out there and you're allowed to do those things, then I think that that should be the way to go. What they're trying to do, and they know that this is the case, with them not allowing them to transfer that licensing, they're hoping that these shops will close up. Now, there's not that many stores in Ventura. I think I read like 117 locations there, and they're not going to allow any new stores to open up within 1,000 feet of a school. So that's going to be kind of an issue as well. I mean, that's there's a lot of things like that. If you have a convenience store and you want to be near there, you won't be able to sell cigarettes. And unfortunately, a lot of their money comes in through that, as well as vape products. I don't want people to smoke, and I don't think that this is advertising to kids. Yeah, if it was like 50 feet from a school and they had a tobacco shop like we've seen in some of the other countries, yes, I could see that being a problem, especially when the guy's got like a lighter on a string out there for the kids to light their cigarettes up with. That's an issue. Okay, I get that. But those of you that are, taking your kids to school and you need to stop for a quick coffee in the morning or something like that, you're going to have to go just that much farther to get that product, because these stores are not going to be able to survive without being able to sell vape products and, flavored tobacco products. So it's just another one of these things in California that they're just constantly just killing these businesses. And I don't know how much longer some of these small businesses are going to be able to stay in California. Not to mention all the other things that they really should be paying attention to, like feces and needles and homelessness and all these other areas. Why are they spending time with something like this? They keep going back to this youth vaping epidemic and youth smoking thing. We know youth smoking numbers are at their lowest of all time. We know that vaping has never killed anyone when it's used for its intended purpose. So this just seems to me like a lot of money and time spent on issues that really don't need that time and money spent on them. All right, enough about that. Let's go on to something else. I am going to go on to a different state, believe it or not. So we're going to go on to Oregon. The title of this article says that Oregon voters will decide on increasing the cigarette tax and creating an e-cigarette tax to fund healthcare-related programs in 2020. I don't know why these people think that if you tax e-cigarettes, unbelievably, that it's going to save some type of health thing. Because people are just going to go somewhere else to purchase their products, or they're going to purchase them online. They're going to get some kind of stealth packaging, and you're not going to get the tax money from this. Now, the taxes that they're trying to impose here are a cigarette tax is going to go from $1.33 a pack to $3.33 a pack, which is a pretty huge jump. Like I said, I'm not a proponent for combustible products, but that just seems like a huge jump. But the imposed tax on, they're calling it inhalant delivery systems, such as e-cigarettes. So basically anything that's heat not burn. I think that'll probably include the IQOS. That's a good possibility. At a rate of 65% of wholesale price. 65%. Take anything in your life and add 65% to it and tell me if you could afford it. Add 65% to your rent. Add 65% to your grocery bill. Okay, a lot of us are just barely making it week to week off of what we're making. And to add another 65% on top of that is just an unbelievable disaster. How this is going to affect teenagers and underage people, I don't know. And this is the point that I want to get to with this. Teenagers have disposable income. Okay, they don't have bills for the most part. They don't have rent, mortgages, health insurance, all of these other things that the adults do. So when you impose a tax like this, it is not going to affect them like that. And here's a perfect example of that. How many $4 and $5 cups of coffee at Starbucks are teenagers buying that adults aren't because they can't afford to go there every day? Now, is that limiting, the epidemic of coffee drinkers with teenagers? No, not in the least. It's basically sending, real people who have real jobs to Keurig because it's the only thing that they can afford to do on a daily basis to have a decent cup of coffee. Here's what infuriated me about this article is that the increase cap, so this is the top, on cigar taxes from 50 cents to $1. I mean, come on. So basically what they're saying is, you cigar smokers out there, we're just going to kind of, another 50 cents, no big deal. That to me is ridiculous. That's probably one of the worst things for you is, this huge cigar stogie thing, combustible, smoking that thing all the way down. That is going to provide so much poison and so much stuff into your body, and yet they're only increasing that by 50 cents. But then we have a product that is 95% healthier than that, and you want to increase it by 65% of wholesale. I have no idea what that's going to do to the retail cost of these items. So if you are in Oregon, or if you know somebody in Oregon, it's called House Bill 2270, if you want to look at it that way. This is something that needs to be voted down. So if you are in that area, I know Juicing with Jen lives in that area as well. You guys, please take a look at this and vote this down because this is just an extreme thing. And we are seeing this all across the United States, but this is just one more of those issues that, I felt like I needed to get out to you guys, all right? So this tax would actually become effective on January 1st of 2020, so they can hopefully pay for some of the health things in 2021. Anyway, so a little bit of news for you guys this morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day, but I think there's some things in these areas that we need to seriously look at. If you're in California and you're a vapor, I would say it's probably time to start looking elsewhere for a place to live because it's just going to get to the point out there where you're just not going to be able to get your products that you need. All right, guys, here at Vape AM, we always have the same goal. Stop smoking or you're going to die, all right? So have a great rest of the day, and I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Vapors, you're my savior, now I'm out of danger. Living life tobacco free, baby. Vapors, you're my savior, now I'm out of danger. Living life tobacco free, baby. Go to Vapors, they got flavors that'll whittle on. Anything that you buy is a home run. A better store in Toledo, you won't find one. Come on, man, stop smoking while you're still young. I wanna go to the edge of the nation and tell the vape world of my appreciation. Vapors, you're my savior, now I'm out of danger.